right, so it was sometime in 2014. I was playing Jaspers on a somewhat regular basis. I think it was every other Thursday. Through our buddy Moses, I met our guest today. Somehow through doing sound or burning one in the back alley. I don't know. It was a crazy place. Hard to remember a lot of things. But without further ado, my guest today, I met him as Kamesh, but he also goes by Ashton Marsh. And good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Man, it's great to see you too. It's
man.
been a minute since we've had time to
get
together and groove, but we had some great times. That's for sure. Coming to you live from Bend, Oregon.
I think the last time we hung out, we were eating tacos and sleeping in vehicles, but times change.
Hey, things change.
Yeah,
certainly.
They're good tacos, though. It's Sonoma County. Come on.
That place has, it's like that part of town. You're going to get the best tacos. It was in a part of town where you got really authentic street tacos.
What was that place called?
It wasn't El Favorito, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is too. But
yeah, I can tell you, it's right there off of Dutton Road.
Get some what do you call it? What's the cinnamon milk?
The horchata.
Horchata, yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah, great to see you, man. I think that was almost 3 years ago. 2 years ago.
It's so funny that because today I went. There's a place right next to the house called Super Burrito, and they have authentic Mexican food right here.
Nice.
And I had some today.
Nice.
It's funny that I had tacos.
That's a weird coincidence,
isn't it? And what's a weirder coincidence? Moses called me out of the blue right before this, maybe an hour ago.
I was trying to get him to do it, and he didn't really seem interested. But yeah, I was talking to him yesterday. Maybe I'll get him to come around.
No, he must have tickled his, because he called me for whatever reason. But
you
might want to not include this part.
No, whatever. This will make him have to be on it. Yeah, whatever.
Right? Yeah. No, but it was great to talk to him. He's doing really good.
So yeah,
but we met. It was a combination of those things you said. I mean, I was doing sound a lot back in those days there,
right?
And playing with different musical groups and projects, and so happened that you were coming through, and I'd done sound for you a couple of times, and we definitely smoked in the back alley there. That place is famous.
Yeah.
And I met you. I think Allegra was with you when you came through the first time or two, and I met you both, and you were both really super cool. And we hung out and we had cool conversations. And I told you that I played the flute, and you told me to come up for a song, and we jammed. It was really good, and so we kind of built a repertoire of tunes that we did together.
Yeah, and it was I think it was multiple occasions of you maybe doing sound or us hanging out in the back, and it had that family kind of vibe of. I saw a lot of familiar faces there all the time, and man, I just loved hanging out there. Sometimes I'd get a little too hammered to play, but
it happened. That place was a fun place, just in that it was a good time happening all the time.
I was encouraged to take multiple breaks and stretch out my sets. I'm okay.
Well, it was one way to fill an otherwise empty time slot without a jukebox or the television. Plus, you're more entertaining than that, and plus, it was fun. Like I said, it was a unique kind of fun time in my life. The music was it lived and breathed music in every way. I met so many awesome people, played with a lot of different talented artists, and did sound for a lot of really awesome groups besides what I did with you. So a lot went through that place.
Yeah.
But you were definitely a unique thing, because you when you came as your one-man band, you had unique sound requirements, and so it was to get you.
You're the only lead,
so that you could get the stomp really carried, but you were clear and your guitars were in tune without feeding back. And see, that was the other thing. Remember how hard it was in there, because it's
tricky, man.
It was an open room, a lot of ambient noise, but we always figured it out, and it sounded good. It was fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of good times. And what was the thing you played with, like a weekly gig thing there, right? You guys used to do that
called sessions.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
you did those awesome instrumentals
and reggae, and
you guys would throw down on that shit, man.
It was. I played bass, as you know. I played with that too as well, but in that group, I was a bass player, and we had a whole lot of. We covered hip hop and reggae tunes, as well as did a lot of original stuff, and MCs and singers from around the area would come, and it was like an open mic for them, but we had the band backing them, and we'd give them periods to get up and do their thing, and then the next guy or gal would come up. It was a real community thing. It was really fun for a number of years, that going on. It's not happening now, I don't think. But
it's just so much great talent in that area, man. Just incredible. Just spoiled with a great music scene, local music scene.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So predominantly you did more bass, right? Like.
Oh, I was mostly.
Yeah, you were a bass.
I'm a bassist, and I played the flute as well. I've played both of them since I was pretty young. But I got more work as a bassist as the rule, in terms of I played in reggae bands.
Right.
And I played in that group, and I played in rock bands as a bassist. I did a lot of performing in the area, and that part of the West Coast.
Africali.
Yeah, well, there's that too. With Moses, and that was a long, fun ride too. He's kind of he's moving back to basketball, I guess.
Really, he's back there again.
That's the word I hear.
And Jasper's is open again in some strange way, but he's not there. Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna be going there too much, but who knows?
Shit. Okay, so let's go way back. How did you? What did you start first, flute or bass, or any instrument?
Flute. Yeah? In elementary school band. Yeah, I was like I was first chair pretty quickly, and nice. I was in the marching band, and I did all that nerdy stuff. But then around 9th grade, I changed schools, and I decided that year I didn't want to be in band anymore, and I started playing soccer, and I did that for a couple of years, and then. My senior year, I started fiddling around with a bass guitar. And see, my dad played guitar, and I had a buddy who had picked up guitar, and so we'd hang out and mostly metal kind of music, that kind of thing. But
nice.
But all kinds of stuff, I'd try to learn whatever I could, any songs I could figure out.
Yeah. So kind of noodling on guitar.
On the bass, and then
bass. Okay.
And then I started, and then I went when I was in college. I studied the instrument there. I took classes for jazz theory and that sort of thing. I did performance with both bass and flute, and learned to read music and all that stuff really well.
And this is in Tennessee.
Back in Tennessee, that's right, sir.
I still got that little 10 accent.
And I can always dredge up my accents there.
Wait, so where are you originally from? You from
I literally born in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, so in Knoxville. And you went to school.
Grew up outside of there in a town smaller than most.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'm in Vermont, so yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I had friends growing up who had never had electricity, and they had dirt floors.
Wow.
I'll be 52 here in a month, and on the 13th of next month, actually. And it was a lot different back then, and I knew people, because Appalachia is a very economically poor part of the country, has been historically, and even growing up, a lot of people I knew, they just did not have any of the contrivances of today. I mean, I'm sure it's different now,
Right.
But then it was, as a kid, 40 years ago or whatever, it was real different.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
And so, man. I grew up, with people playing fiddle and banjo, and my dad playing guitar with them on my porch.
Whoa. So some straight hillbilly Appalachia style.
Yep.
And you were in it. So were you like in the mountains of Knoxville, the countryside, and
my parents own a mountaintop there still. It's
wow.
in a town called Maynardville.
Oh yeah, okay. You told me about this story.
Check it out if you ever watch Inglourious Bastards, I believe it is.
Yeah.
The character, Brad Pitt's character,
Maynardville,
is from my hometown.
Maynardville.
Well, Maynardville.
That's awesome. Oh shit, we like one thing: kill Nazis.
Yep, that's it. It is, and as long as there's some killing in it, I'm sure he was just fine with it.
So then, okay. So where did you?
It's just those old boys where I grew up. Hunting and fishing and fighting, kind of all
right.
The same thing.
Drinking and well, it's cool. The music, the bluegrass, kind of goes along with it. They're still picking. Picking is awesome, man. It is.
It's just amazing talent too. In fact, Chet Atkins is from that same place, and I used to see him a couple times when I was a kid because he would play he was amazing. He was like the town next door to Maynardville is a little town called Luttrell, and that's where he's from. And his nickname was the Luttrell Flash.
No shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't because he could play some guitar so fast, although that's what he's remembered for. He was actually known for also as a moonshiner, and he had the fastest car to run the shine from my county is the moonshine capital of Tennessee.
Wow.
Crazy. And so, yep. And so I come from I grew up in a place where moonshiners, like the mentality of them with their distrust of the government and the whole, South will rise again craziness.
Right.
I grew up around all that.
Wow. Damn.
That
could be a culture shock for some.
Oh yeah. I mean, imagine,
was it a culture shock for you to go to Knoxville and see things?
No, because I was born there, but my grandma, when I stayed with her some of the time, and my grandma.
Was Knoxville diverse yet? Or
Knoxville was always it was segregated, kind of in a sense.
Right.
I mean, there was the black part of town, and then there was where everybody else lived.
Right, like most places back in the 60s, 70s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
still.
Right. Well, my grandma lived in a part of town that had become urban. That is, mostly black folks lived around it.
Right.
But she never moved because she was poor herself, and that's her house, and that's where she was living. She wasn't going to move,
Right. Yeah.
She did that for her. And, so I would go stay with her. And so I was around people of all, I always liked folks, regardless of their race. I never felt any kind of way towards people, didn't matter they're white or black. Never cared. It just seemed like everybody else did a lot though. And that was always a thing that made me want to just kind of get out of there growing up. Was I just didn't like that attitude to just, Southern hospitality is fine and all, but then you see the ugly side of, some racially uncool stuff, and I'm not okay with that. It's sad, but it happens.
Yeah, my mom's from Georgia, so I know all about it.
I understand it's gotten better since I left, though. So I just have most of all, I have a lot of faith. I think most of the folks are good natured. It's just that it was bad programming and time and education and experiences, I think, is bringing the place up. But Tennessee's not nearly like it used to be, bro.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, in fact, I went to places that used to be all black ghettos, and they're just now integrated. They're just housing.
Yeah,
it's not like that anymore.
Right.
Isn't that weird? When I went to visit not long ago, and I was happy about it. I was like, well, that's really cool. Things kind of that kind of diversity or disparity wasn't so bad anymore. I mean, there's gentrification, but it's mostly in the suburbs, most places. Yeah, but in town, it's not like that anymore. So it felt a lot different.
Yeah, no, I used to kind of gig
more
around
like
there.
More like the West Coast or Oregon or something.
I was actually hanging out there.
Vermont.
a little more before I moved to Sonoma County, like 2013, and yeah, it seemed like they said the downtown had been completely redone and everything was just like newer and kind of had the kind of hipster vibe, but it's still a southern thing, and you know,
sure,
what I mean? It was pretty nice though.
It's a university town.
Yeah, exactly. So you had the college vibe.
The UT's right next to downtown, like it's walking distance. So you know it's like that's a very and UT. See, when I went to UT, and UT is one of the. It's a huge international student body. They have one of the biggest international student bodies in the South. Oh, cool! Huge school for that there, I guess.
So were you studying music there, or?
Yeah, I studied music and psychology. I was trying to double major. Then when I didn't finish college, I ended up in the military. That's a long story. I won't get into all of it, but I served in the first Gulf War. I was a surgical nurse assistant in the in a MASH hospital over there, from 90 to 91. And when I got back, I went on Dead Tour.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a good transition.
It was kind of transit. Yeah, well,
but some things happened, and yeah. You've told me a couple of things about this. Some strange experiences.
It was definitely a discovery. Kind of like. It was my own personal kind of like way to deal with, I saw some pretty crazy stuff over there, and and it's still haunts me, but I definitely getting to travel and see different parts of the country and stuff.
Yeah. How long were you on the tour, on the Dead Tour?
Oh, let's see. I guess from 93, like really on tour, 93 till, I guess my car broke down there in 96, 6. And so 3 years, like doing Rainbow Gathering and Grateful Dead tour, like constantly.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
And then, my buddy, I had an acoustic electric bass. My buddy had an acoustic electric guitar, and we jam in the, at all these different shows in the parking lots or at campfires and stuff a lot. I'd play with all kinds of people. It really cut my teeth playing music, playing with a lot of different people.
Right, because you could just jam almost at any moment in the lot,
That's right.
On the road or whatever. Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you got a bass? Awesome,
It's acoustic bass. Yeah.
Acoustic bass, yeah. Acoustic electric. It was a Washburn. It was nice.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So, like, you would kind of at least consistently keep playing your instruments, whether if it was military school or Dead Tour.
No, right. Except for the time I was in the military, I couldn't play during that little.
Because you couldn't have it. Couldn't have it with me. Maybe a flute, maybe, but that wasn't even really. Yeah, that was not
uniform. I wasn't in the Army music corps, so that wouldn't be okay. So no, I just took a break.
Shit.
Yeah, I just took a break. Yeah.
Maybe probably made you want it a little more by the time.
Yeah, when I came back, I played with passion. Yeah, it was just kind of, when you taking some time away sometimes can really refuel your creative battery.
Oh, absolutely. You can see things a little clearly of what you want to do with it more too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
get some clarity.
I did a lot of reggae for a number of years when I was in California, and gosh, at one point I was in 3 reggae bands simultaneously as a bassist.
Yeah.
I had 3 rehearsals a week and shows every week, and it was nuts trying to juggle it, But
that was like your main thing. I felt like the reggae tip. You were the bass reggae guy.
Yeah, even when you met me, I was still doing. I'd been doing that since about 2007.
That's awesome. Like, I always had love for reggae.
Oh yeah, still, though it's kind of strange is that after I left, to move to Oregon, both Reggae on the River and the Sierra Nevada Festival stopped happening.
Yeah, that's right.
And like just in general, the amount of like the reggae scene just kind of decreased like harshly in terms of the amount of acts coming through and what I mean. It's like it like all of a sudden it was just not the same.
I think it's almost the newer generation doesn't have as many reggae bands, so the audience.
No, well, they got this Cali roots, so they do this. This is
Cali roots,
like Slightly Stupid and all that kind of business. It's Cali roots reggae, which is not really reggae. It's white boys playing.
Dubstep
this kind of rock like reggae-ish music. That's not what a true reggae guy calls reggae music.
It's not roots reggae. Yeah,
it's not roots. No, from the like traditional reggae, I guess. This is. And I have no issue with any of it. I think it's all great. I mean, it's like people being creative and express themselves. They want to take, and they've been successful at it. It's just people hate on them that play the old school style, and they're mad because they're not getting the kind of gigs and booking, and that's because it's not what's hot right now, and that's just the fact. Young people are the drivers of music sales and concert attendance, especially festivals. People between 18 to 30.
So you just got to keep up with what's modern, and it's hard to do. That's it.
And the thing is if you want, and the thing is if you're chasing that and that's your goal, trying to, create, first of all, most of the guys at my age still doing this are probably 30 years too late, so to speak. Is that this is, it's these young, 18, 25-year-old guys gals playing this music that are they're playing what these kids want to hear in their age group. They're way more tuned into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing is I've played so many different genres of music over time. Reggae will always be a part of what I do. And I have an affinity for, I love the groove of it. It's really awesome. I like music that grooves and is danceable, but I also, I really love doing, more artistically exploratory, creative stuff. Yeah. I'm looking forward to maybe doing some stuff, even like programming, percussion, and playing all the stuff myself.
That's awesome, man.
Stuff like that, just for recording and just kind of take a little bit more of a, I haven't done a lot of that sort of thing, and I think it'd be good because I have a lot of ideas that I could just focus on myself, and just I play guitar. I have a guitar, and there's a lot of things I could do. I could.
Oh yeah.
Just in a studio sense, I've been kind of feeling more like doing that lately, just after such a long period of time doing performance and whatnot. It's definitely not easy to come to a new area where you don't have a lot of connections and then plug in and play. I mean, unless you're like you did, where you were touring, already kind of setting up, gigs for yourself, so that you kind of had.
Well, I have to do the one-man band thing in order to do it. Yeah, so it's
right.
Yeah,
which I respect immensely. It taught me a lot. Actually, your hustle was very inspiring. And actually, that's one of the reasons I like playing with you. I think partly exists to the fact that that you're so self-contained.
Thanks,
also,
man.
It was which I thought, and it sounded good, and I played with a lot of heart and soul and skill, and it was fun to accompany you, and still is. Would be again. Yeah,
Thank you, man. I appreciate. Yeah, I'd love to play with you again. Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say. So, like overall, you've kind of like accompanied more people, and now you're kind of like sitting back and thinking about your own thing.
Yeah,
how you can put it all together. Because
start creating music that's actually what coming from my thing is. I'm a vocalist, also. I can sing. I can write songs and do all kinds of stuff. So it's like, it's like I just sort of feel like I have kind of been the. Like when I was a bassist, it was in support of my buddy who was a guitarist, and he had a lot of ideas, and it was like he needed a bassist. I also play the keys, synthesizer and stuff.
That was like on Dead Tour too. It was like your buddy kind of had the songs, and you were like,
and it was easier for me just because he's singing and playing, so I'm backing you up. It's a lot easier for me just to play along.
And I could only imagine the jams you got into touring around with the Dead and
absolutely
playing with different people and who knows.
Fun.
Yeah.
So much fun, you know.
Wow.
But, you know, it really, see, and that really, I think, you know, learning, you know, playing music since I was 7. And then even before that, I would play anytime I could pick up an instrument, I would try to play it, you know what I mean? Until I was like pretty much, you know, just, you know, 2nd grade or something, put me in band, you know.
Right.
But I was skipped up 2 grades. So I was younger than almost every single kid in my class. So I was little. Shit. I'm only 5'7" now. So I was really small then and younger than everyone. And so I got stuck playing the flute. It's what it felt like. Yeah. I wanted to play the saxophone, but the damn thing was so big. It was like, you know, at first it was just, you know, and so anyway, plus, you know, they sound really bad when you're first trying to learn to play them.
I can imagine.
I think my dad just didn't want to hear it.
Well, you know, a flute is not only is a flute, it's hard to find a flute player. It's not very common, but it's such a unique sound. It just has like a, I don't know, like a crispiness in the tone. It's like a soothing. I don't know. Can you describe what the flute?
It's the oldest. It and the drums are the oldest instruments of mankind.
Well, because then you have the one that's kind of more like the whistle, Celtic.
It's a bone flute. Like bone or reed flutes were made by the earliest humans.
But the main one you play is what style is that though, per se? Or
what do you mean, like the way that I put on the side, like
just the difference in sound. Like uses more has the airy, as opposed to the, you know, like the.
Oh, like more like a whistly sound. Well, it's because of the material. Okay, it's interesting.
The reed, or
there's no reed. There's no reed in a flute. It's because you blow across the mouthpiece as opposed to down into the mouthpiece across a reed, or when like a horn, you purse your lips and vibrate it.
Right.
Push the air through, and that makes the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So with the flute, it's like it's makes it really hard as you can't see what you're doing. You have to be you literally have to play with your eyes closed most of the time.
You have to, so it's muscle memory of your fingers.
Being able to play by ear and have a good ear is like the essential quality you need to be good at that instrument. Most instruments, but especially that one, because you can't, I mean, unless you're reading music and just, you know, you've got the muscle memory going that way, just to listen, it's a lot of feel, for sure. It definitely has given me, it helps with the bass too, because if you can do that with the bass, then it's easy to kind of, I can always find the groove, because I'm pretty good about I can hear it. You know, so it's just, and I think being on tour really honed a lot of that. And then you know, after some time doing that, my friend and I, our fortunes had it that we ended up basically breaking down in Sonoma County.
You're right.
My car broke down in Spassville, of all places.
Awesome.
Literally grating.
Okay.
Literally 3 or 4 houses down from where the Grateful Dead used to live.
Nice. Perfect.
I didn't know it when I moved it, that when I got there, that's what I found that out subsequently.
Fresh off Dead tour.
Yeah, going, well, man, we're like and I found out that Jerry Garcia went to Annalee High School in Spassville, and I was like, oh, this is where we're supposed to be, bruh.
It's all, the stars have aligned, bro. We made it.
We made it, bro. We're here. Let's go. Okay.
And then,
so essentially, what we did, my buddy and I, we stayed in a campground and got jobs as waiters, and saved money and got an apartment.
Nice. Hey, that's cool though. And this is we said 96.
96, yeah.
Wow. So Sebastopol's grown a lot since then. For
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got the Barlow now and all this.
Yeah, that
all this whole new deal, and you know, Jasper's just got, you know, new owners. They completely redid the interior. It's all schwanky now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, so that's what I was thinking about. You're the only the flute player I've ever played with or even recorded with, and I feel like once we started jamming more, it almost just made me wanna have this sound that was kind of Celtic-y or Irish folk or something. And, like, the combination with the violin player, I liked how a lot of those turned out.
Yeah.
It just had this very
Celtic.
It sounded like we could have been foreigners or something in a sense. I don't know. It's just something that I definitely could not do because, even with, like, I Hope You Find Peace, just doing it on the banjo, you're not going to get that same sound until you add the flute and violin, the combination. It's really cool. I love that.
True story. I mean, there was a certain, I don't know how to, Terry, she played from the heart, and it was like, you could feel the like, it felt authentic. And it's all like, it felt like, all those songs, it just felt like they were like literally reincarnated ancient songs from Ireland or something.
Well, I mean, absolutely. No, it's especially
or even Viking. I'm sure even Scandinavian almost in some ways. I mean, you can almost imagine. I could almost imagine it's just the feel of that culture, that old, not exactly British, more Irish, Celtic, Scottish, or even a little bit of the old, just the old way, the old music, man. Just had a feel for it.
And that's why it was cool to kind of, we did this music video for Hope You Find Peace, and we were on like the coast. You can see the ocean and these like cliffs, and it almost just fit the vibe of that Viking sea, Celtic-y. Because you see that a lot when you think about Ireland. They're like on a cliff and there's an ocean behind them. It's like It looks a little colder. And so we were kind of like going for that vibe, and it gets very obviously coastal fog.
It worked.
Similar thing.
It was. It just definitely it captured a feeling of, wind-swept ocean cliffs, and the alone, the loneliness and the beauty, just what all that entails.
I actually plan on like kind of remastering and re-editing that whole thing, because I didn't know shit what I was doing as far as the editing process, and now I'm like,
well, sure, I'd love to see it,
because it's like, and we had a guy who's normally a photographer. I just convinced him to film it because he had a better camera. You know what I mean? Yes. So it wasn't like he's a director.
He does lots of stills. He's that's his thing.
Awesome photographer for sure, and he filmed it great. It's just he'd never done it before. So
right, it was really I would say that was at least very challenging filming conditions.
Yeah, well,
some of those where the wind was so whipping up,
and it was funny because that was the first time, and it was the actual trio of who plays on the song, and then we come back the second time with Moses. And no fiddle player, and that time was just more fun. We're just like running around the beach and shit. And
that was really fun. We're walking through that little path trying to get out there.
we didn't make it to the actual beach a couple times there, but
that was funny.
It's good times, man. And that what better place to do it? I lived like 10 minutes from that spot at one point, but shit. I miss it sometimes. I don't miss the prices.
Sometimes, man. It's cool that they've had it really rough there with two fires and a major flood since I left too.
Yeah, which isn't uncommon in general. Greenville has had some crazy floods over the years.
It floods there often, and to be honest, I hate to say it, but with people don't all, there's a lot of people that trying to make that, the hustles for a real struggle in Northern California. And a lot of folks try to do, their own grow operation or whatever to try to, get by. And it's a lot of those. I think that a lot of people don't get their wiring done to code, and you got these places out in the woods, and it blows a transformer because the grow room's pulling too much power, and it's hot and everybody's air conditioning's on. And so a whole transformer blows because there's 2 grow rooms on that block or some shit. And now you got a forest fire. And that's what's been happening.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And see, that's why PG&E is just like, because you know what? PG&E can't say much because they looked the other way for decades while people ran up massive power bills with jury-rigged wiring. They'd look the other way and take the money.
Right.
Now it's causing fires, and if they were to admit that you see what I'm saying, it's a mess.
Wow.
It's a mess,
crazy, man. Well,
and I feel bad. I feel bad for the folks. I understand, wanting to come up, but they don't. It's like population is getting pushed further and further into the woods and places that shouldn't be people living.
Yeah, no, exactly. Or where you doing not good rigged up electricity. You're trying to do some off grid.
A lot of those Northern California fires, I'm afraid, the stuff that happens down in SoCal. That's usually something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the ones up here, like especially the first one that hit Santa Rosa. It was they keep saying it's like out in the woods. There was a transformer just took a blow, and
yeah,
a lot of that's because people I've heard they don't talk. I read an article about it, and they're just saying that it's not really talked about because it's like, because most of the people doing that are not legal to do it, or they're over their limits, and so it's
exactly.
Nobody wants to, and
that might
PG&E
be
still taking their money, even though, and so there, and then it goes boom. Oops.
It might slightly be decreasing with legalization, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I've heard. But look at the difference. This is a great topic. Look at the difference. If you were to compare, I guess, California to Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon just charges, I believe it's like a 10% tax on it, right? No, sorry, it's 20% on it. It don't charge you sales tax or anything else in the whole state. Zero sales tax in Oregon.
That's right. It's just like New Hampshire over here, but yeah.
Yep. And we don't have to pump our own gas.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's kind of cool.
So 20% on legal cannabis.
So 20% tax, and on a Sunday. Hold on, I want to show you this. Hold on, I can find it. Well, hold on. So it's not going to. It's not working. Okay, so anyway, I don't know. Maybe the background's messing with it. Anyway, it's every Sunday at this just one local dispensary. You can get an ounce of top grade weed for $100. That's including the tax. They charge you $83.33 plus tax, so it's $100 out the door.
Nice. Of
good indoor medical grade. This particular stuff's super sour tangy, and it's 22.7%, something like that.
Nice.
Which is great.
And compared to California, there's like 50 to 55% tax.
Yeah, 50 to 55% tax, so high, and they're not lower. So in other words,
the prices are high too.
No, you're going. It's $100. It's a $50 eighth with a 50. You're paying like $75 for it or something, or ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like it pushes the price points way high. So
people are going back to the black market. But originally,
so the black market's gotten big there again because nobody wants to pay for they can get a better deal.
But it went back and forth because it originally decreased the black market when it first went legal, and then a year later, now that it's taxed, they're like, oh, but it still kind of filters out the bullshit. People just kind of go there and have no idea what they're doing, and they're like, I'm gonna make a bunch of money. And
right.
Yeah.
That's it. And so
I know people on the more outdoor scene in Mendo, so a little different, but same idea.
That requires the same idea, but that doesn't. It's funny. Those folks, if they're doing when you do it outdoor, it's another animal. I've done an outdoor thing before, and
I do a greenhouse, so kind of best of both
that's
worlds.
Cool too. That's kind of the same thing. It's actually really the best of both worlds.
You can contain it like indoor, but you use the sun for light.
Yeah, I don't have to have that power bill. Hello, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You got to do the whole season, but still, I get big old plants.
I mean, you're, and as long as you wire things right and do things proper, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, that was always the thing. Everybody does. Things are so expensive there that, you know, they're hiring black market people to do the wiring, you know, and nothing, you know, it's just a big mess. And so, but compared to here, where they had I think they said it was last year, over 1 million pounds of surplus weed grown in Oregon. Surplus.
Whoa. I think I remember reading about this. Yeah.
Yeah. We grow some, and the thing compared to the demand of what's grown, it's also good. So the supply is so high that the price is low.
Well, I know that they're like almost equally as on top of the whole CBD craze with the hemp plants as well.
Better. Dude, right here where I live is the new, possibly maybe one of the biggest CBD producing regions in the country. Yeah. Where we have the best weather for it than anybody.
Right. Well, people are going crazy with it here, but they just there's more experience out on the West Coast. Like I just know that. For a
here's
fact,
the thing.
You know?
Out here, you know, you can have a 50,000 acre farm of it. No,
you can here too. It's just people aren't really up on the whole.
There's not many 50,000 acre parcels in Vermont left.
That's true. Yeah, true.
Bend is literally surrounded by 50,000 of them.
I just mean like there's such a cannabis culture in general that like people out here don't even know about trimming, drying, curing, you know, just basic things that you just know is standard out there. That's been standard for so long before the whole hemp craze, you know, because like it's, you know, hemp's federally legal, but like, you know, cannabis is legal here too, but it is, I don't know, when you kind of bring West Coast standards to East Coast not as developed place, you know, kind of
it's going to be substandard.
Well, it's just my stuff is just like, I guess above the sub. I mean, it's above average just because I just know it was taught better.
Yeah,
I'm not even like a credible grower.
You got experienced out there on the West Coast with how it's done. That's what's up. I mean, it's the West Coast's baby. And Colorado, it was just smart and being ahead of the pack.
Right. I still think some of the best comes from the West, though, Cali or Oregon.
And Oregon, yeah, honestly, man, I'm telling you, I've been utterly just. I mean, you know, you can find those 30% strains here.
I feel like from where you are to Northern Cali, there's these awesome counties.
Yes.
Of outdoor or indoor, and
Yep, it's true. You know, and it's kind of it's pretty cool when you're driving from Northern California to here. You literally have you cut off at Weed, California.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. That's awesome. Oh no, were you to your exit?
Yep, my exit is Weed, California.
Cool. Yeah, I think I've driven through there.
It's up right past Shasta.
Oh yeah,
See, Mount
beautiful
Shasta.
area.
See, what's weird is when you drive. I've driven it. I'm actually thinking about going back again, maybe in a few days. I still have stuff there in storage, and I may come back and go do a quick little trip there and back. See some old friends. Nice. Maybe see Moses.
Yeah, cool.
It'd be fun.
Oh, always good to see Moses.
Yeah,
he's an interesting kid. I wish he would do the podcast, man.
If I do, I'll get footage of the new inside of Jasper's, and I'll send it to you so you can go.
No, if you see him, get him to do the podcast because
he's funny, man. You know,
I know.
You know,
he's got an interesting story though.
He's got a unique. He's don't like to be. He's. But you know, maybe he'll decide to do it at some point. You never know.
Yeah.
Keep at him.
Yours is gonna be so cool. He's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I gotta do this."
Right. look at Marsh.
Yeah, right. I know he's just got an interesting story and background.
Oh man, so. he's a wealth of stories. You sure?
Okay, so where do we leave? So you end up in Sebastopol. And how long do you end in Sebastopol? How long were you there? 96 till just recently.
2016.
20 years exactly. Almost.
Yep.
You got there in the summer of 96?
It was the summer of 96, and I left I actually left in the spring of 2017.
Oh, so almost 21 years.
Going there, yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. And so through that, you played bass and how many
played
bands?
Bass in a lot of different,
3 dozen.
The entire time I was there, I played in some kind of music whole group.
Do you have any like favorite bands, peaks, festivals, performances that you can remember?
Oh yeah, one that stands out, probably one of the best was I was in a group called Ancient Mystic and the Real Far Band. Oh. It was the first reggae group that I ever played with. Nice. And they I should say we quickly got these really awesome gigs. We opened for Damian Marley at the Health and Harmony Festival in I believe it was 2007. And then and that same summer we headlined the over at UC Davis. They have this festival the students put on. It's called I'll think of it a second. Whole Earth Festival in UC Davis. You should try to book that. That's a happening fun.
Whole Earth.
Yeah, it's all about the student body of UC Davis puts it on.
Probably saw like a flyer or something for it. Sounds familiar.
They do it every year.
Cool.
And anyway, and they always book lots of bands, but we were the headliner of the show. Nice. I guess the people who did that were at that Damian Marley, that the Health and Harmony Festival that year, saw us and booked us as the headliner for this festival.
Right on.
And both of those shows were before thousands of people screaming and going crazy. It was so much fun.
Nice. So this was like the first year or 6 months of the band.
Yeah, like me, I'm immediately like on stage in front of all these people. But I was in a rock band before that called 1320, and we played at the NHRA. They have those over at Sears Point, the racetrack over there near Sonoma.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, for a few years in a row, we played there before thousands of people doing rock cover band stuff with my buddy Russ, same guy that I traveled around the country with doing the Dead Tour.
Okay, sweet. So how long did this Ancient Mystic?
It went on for about 4 or so years, and
you guys kept doing festivals. And
I started a new group called Inner Rhythm, and Inner Rhythm was another great group and played a lot of shows. We played a lot. I was also in another group called Big Yard, and we played with this vocalist named Amha Selassie Baraka, and he's still a performing artist, reggae artist here, and moved up here to the Northwest. He lives in Eugene, and possibly I might get some work playing with him in the future because he wants to collaborate again, and he's in the area. He moved from the Bay Area up here. He's in Eugene, but he has a friend here in Bend, and he travels here sometimes. So maybe we'll work something out going in the future. But like I said, right now I'm more interested in doing some recording and expanding my original ideas. I don't know. I might want to try being the front man of the band or something.
Hell yeah.
I do other things. I kind of want to stretch and maybe try some other, performing in other facets of with what I'm able to do. I definitely don't want to put any limits on myself.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on. I'm just, like I said, sort of feeling it out and wanting to start a new creative process.
Hell yeah, man. No, I mean, you can really shine when you do your own thing and kind of harness the energy that you need to get out of yourself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I see what you mean.
So
what we need Joe Rogan right now.
Yeah, right.
Smoke with us.
Yeah, I should pack a bong again. So 21 years in Sebastopol, I can only imagine. Crazy times, stories.
Oh man,
band members.
I was there for the whole when dubstep became a thing. I was way in
early 2000s.
This was like probably around the same time as close 2009, 2010. It became a real big deal, right? and a bunch of my friends were throwing these big shows with dubstep DJs and all that business. And I actually performed with my flute with some of them. They put mics up and I'd get up and do live stuff with some of the DJs.
No shit.
Yeah, I'd always try to find a way to.
Yeah, would you incorporate flute much? Because you did bass more than anything, right? But
yeah, flute worked way better with that because they could put effects on it and I could just play a lick and they could like resample it and I could it was really cool. I wouldn't mind doing something like that actually with some kind of a electronic music creator collaborator of some sort. I think would be pretty cool sounding. That's another idea I've thought about, which would be a lot more streamlined. I've also considered getting it's a MIDI wind controller. It's basically a flute that plays MIDI sounds, so you can make it sound like anything.
So I'm gonna say like a flute with effect on it could be like a synthesizer.
No, that's what this is. It's a synthesizer interface that lets you play it like a flute.
That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, I want one. They're about $1,000, and I just haven't bit the bullet. I really want one.
What are they called?
A MIDI wind controller.
Oh, so yeah, like a wind instrument. Yeah, I get it. Cool. Mm-hmm. And you're a wind sign.
Yep.
Air.
Right. I am air sign. I'm Aquarius.
Flutes.
Are you Taurus? Are you?
I'm Pisces, man. I'm right after you.
Pisces. That's right. Water.
You're on the cusp almost. 13th.
13th.
Isn't the 14th the
14th is Valentine's Day. The last day of the sign is the 19th.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense.
I'm off the cusp, but I'm definitely at the tail end of it.
I'm smack dab in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Were you around the 1st?
Well, 7th.
7th. My sister's is the 14th.
Cool. My grandma's the 8th.
Huh. I've known a lot of cool Pisces in my time.
They're all right, Yeah.
I'm pretty laid back, most of the ones I've known anyway.
I've gotten along with a lot of Aquarius, too. I've actually played with a good amount of band members but 2 other fiddle players who are Aquarius. So.
I think Aquariuses are often musicians.
Totally.
I've known them. My buddy that played guitar with me, I told you about, that I traveled around, did tour, and then we did the rock bands for years. He's also an Aquarius. Born on the cusp.
So you guys understood each other.
Yeah, so we went to high school together.
Right on.
Yeah,
a lot. And
he's also from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Maynard.
No, he's from Knoxville.
Knoxville.
And
isn't that right where it's time change? No, that's Cooksville.
That's Cookville.
Cookville
or Crossville. I can't remember. I think it's Crossville. Cookville or Crossville.
I think it's Cookville because my buddy was originally from there.
Yeah, it's right. That's right about where and that's only about 60 miles west of Knoxville. Not even to Nashville yet. It's like almost halfway in between. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a cool area. I always liked I'd bounce back and forth between like Knoxville, Asheville.
Asheville, of course.
Go down to
Asheville is like still the gem of the Southeast.
Yeah, but it's also just cool because since they kind of cleaned up Knoxville, you can kind of go in this, and even like Greenville can be kind of cool, South Carolina, and then Chattanooga's got its own thing.
I've never been Greenville. When I went to my parents sent me to a private Christian high school one year. Oh, that was rough. I was 1 year in my 10th grade year. Ooh. And I went, they had us go on a field trip to Bob Jones University in Greenville. And that's my only experience with that place ever.
Wow. So that probably wasn't the best one. No.
Oh, it was.
I only played a gig there, and yeah, it was cool. But
I'm sure it probably is. It's a college town.
Well, and it's just cool that they're all like, you can be in this developed downtown, and then you can be in the mountains in like 10 minutes, like any of those places, very quickly. You know what I mean? So That's what I liked about them. Or like driving between each one of them, you're just going mountain peaking.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Appalachia.
the Appalachians. Appalachia. It's like the natives say it like this. It rhymes with throw an apple at you. Appalachia.
Throw an apple at your ass. Yeah.
I'll throw an apple at you.
Well, see, my mom's side of the family, they're from like West Georgia, so like outside of Atlanta.
Okay, that's down in plantation country. That's a little bit. Don't know that have a little bit of a different drawl.
Well, no, they're not quite that. They're like, Lord it be. But because they're actually really close to Alabama too. They're like right on Rome, Georgia.
I was stationed in Alabama, Huntsville. That was a interesting experience. Alabama's, kind of got a bad reputation.
Yeah, a lot of those places do, but they're not all bad. And
they're not all bad.
I mean, Atlanta is a crazy cool place. It can be.
That's a super happening place.
And like even
music scene
down in like Savannah, Statesboro, there's some cool. Athens has some cool spots. I'm told.
Athens, I mean, golly, you've got Widespread Panic and REM from there. I think also the B-52s. Right. All those bands.
That's right. Yeah, B-52s.
There's a bunch of good bands that came out of there.
There are people doing some trippy things in the mountains, I believe, just in Georgia.
I believe it.
Yeah. So what about weren't you on where'd you go to this Buddhist thing?
Well, that actually interesting. This was in Tennessee. I got back from my deployment overseas, and before I went on the Dead Tour, I went and spent about a year at this place called Sadhna Ashram, which was basically it was a place to meditate and reflect, and I've had some. It was a real. How to explain this? Super inexpensive. The guy didn't charge money for anything. If you live there, you kind of moved in and you helped with what they called seva, which is chores, essentially, which, like you have a day where you do the cooking, you have a day where you do the dishes, stuff like that, it was, handle the trash or the compost or whatever. And you paid to live there, but they were real super exclusive as to who they would allow move in. And the teacher had to feel like you had a real connection with his teachings because people came through and would maybe stay for a day or two, but they didn't live there. Well, I went there to live.
Okay. Yeah.
I decided to go there to live.
Right.
And I lived there for almost a year.
Wow.
And it was real. I did a lot of I was quiet a lot, which I've not hardly shut up since, but
That's part of the healing process of it. Just
yes, it was
listening.
Something that I wanted I've always felt strongly drawn to contemplative, meditative.
So he was like teaching you his practices.
Practices, mostly, a lot of mantras and breathing techniques, and he would give discourses on the nature of consciousness and the universe, and really pretty far out stuff, like pretty,
wow.
like I was basically like Ram Dass.
You're still in your early 20s at this point because you went to everything younger.
23, 22.
Wow. So it's mind blowing, just blowing your mind when you're doing this, but you're like
to a degree, but like I had always been the weird kid who was into all this weird stuff since I was a kid, and so it was like for me, it was like the fact that this guy, out of all these other people who wanted to live there, decided that I was worthy.
Right.
Was a kind of a validation of my own realization many years before that, I'm on a spiritual path, and that, and that I'll be taught and shown the things I need to do along the way. I mean, I can't say I've made all the right decisions along the way. We all are humans, and but it was it taught me about, importance of compassion and service, interconnectivity of life, and not, to how to not take yourself so seriously, or to let your mind get you caught up in your own suffering to such a degree that you lose sight of compassion, service, all those positive things. And so, I'm just thankful that it serves me in my everyday life to this day. That's for sure.
That seems like, some life-changing, like, incredible experience, man. So how would you leave a place like that?
You want to know that this is, okay, here you go. It's kind of weird. It's I may never tell you this. But I literally had a series of dreams where basically we did a lot of our meditation was focused on the Divine Mother, Durga, Shakti, whatever you want to call it. This particular yoga is called Mahashakti Kundalini Yoga. Okay. And so the practices were actually focused on venerating the divine feminine as a focal point of the meditation and if you will. And so it was way ahead of its time, actually, because most of these yogas focus on either Shiva or the Buddha, a masculine form, whereas this focused on all the feminine Buddhas and dakinis and such. Right. And so in my dream, the Divine Mother came to me, and first she had relations with me during a meditation, which was very embarrassing because I was in the meditation room in a trance, and then it was bizarre. Okay. A couple of days later, I have a dream again. This was actually a visionary experience during meditation. The next time I have a vivid dream where she comes to me in my room and just acts like she's going to get intimate with me, and then beats me up like really badly. Just beats a little nannies out of me.
Wow.
And then I had a third dream. I swear, man, you can't make this shit up, I guess. And in the third dream, I saw the place on fire, and I had to run from it. But when I told the teacher about my dreams, he said, "Well, it's because it's time for you to move on. Your life this is not your final destination. The teaching you've received, and without any emotion or bad feelings, or I knew that I wanted to play music. That I wanted to be a musician. I didn't want to stop being, and just, hole up in a monastery and meditate away for the rest of my life."
Yeah. That's
maybe when I get older, older than this, where I don't feel like, I'll return to that kind of lifestyle. But it's definitely good to learn about it when I was young and to incorporate it into my psyche.
That's awesome, man. That's something you've probably held with you for a long time.
Yes, and the experience that the dreams were so vivid, and the visionary experience was so weird that I just, I just after the third one I had to talk to him about it. I just felt like it was bothering me.
And he just said
I told him about it, and then the next day after sleeping, he told me, he goes, "If you want to stay, you can." He goes, I truly believe that's what you're being told, that it's time to move on. And I felt like that was right. It felt right. I mean, in the sense, I didn't really regret it. You know what I mean? It felt like the right thing to do. And I had gained a whole lot. I was the teacher. I progressed very quickly.
Yeah. That's wow, man. So did you ever
that's what
look
when they
back
gave me
into
the name
Oh right, yeah.
The name Kamesh Varananda is it's actually Kamesh Varananda, which is a name of it can be either Buddha or Shiva, or in union with the Divine Mother. Wow. In ecstatic, like sexual tantric union.
Wow. That's pretty powerful, man.
Yeah.
And he gave you this name?
Yeah, before I left.
Before you left? This is your name now. Go on.
But that,
Play.
I had reached some level, like the dream was very meaningful to the teacher. He said it was not very common to get that during meditation. It meant that was a very advanced. Huh. And it wasn't much more that he probably had to teach me.
Wow. That's mind-blowing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, kind of weird, but you know.
It's powerful stuff, man. So have you ever looked back into the place or the guy? Like,
yeah, he moved to he had moved it had moved where they had well, I should tell you about the spot. It was on what had been a Cherokee prayer grounds that a long time ago had been there was a spring that came out of the side of the mountain because it was up in the Smokies, like way up in the Smokies, in the high, like in a valley, like between peaks kind of place. And and the teacher had found the place because he had from India and came to America because the Divine Mother had come to him in a vision and told him that he would find a place to take his teachings, and it led him to the Smoky Mountains. And ultimately me, if you can't see that, I saw this great hand of karma and literally not more than a few years after I left, he moved to California.
No shit. Where?
Ojai.
Okay. That's awesome.
I don't even know. And the thing is it's the way I look at it. So mystical, bro. I was there at the time. It was almost like he was there, not just for me, but definitely for me to learn from and
right.
And moved on.
What's his name?
Shankar Das.
Wow. Well,
he wrote a book called God Alone Is. You can find it.
Peace to you, man, wherever you are.
Right? Yeah. Sadhna. I definitely feel a lot of love. But, you know, like I said, it was a very...
Was he that much older than you? Or?
Oh, yeah, sure.
40s? Think he's still alive? Or?
I don't know. I mean, would he be very old, considering how long ago that was?
If you were like 22, 3, he was 50.
50s.
Wow.
So he's, you know...
80s.
Maybe. Maybe.
People... They used to make them better back then, seems like.
Yeah, so I wish him the best. I should look into it. But, you know, the thing, like I said, it's like I didn't really pursue it or, you know, I felt like, again, it was my time was done and then move on to the next.
It was a certain place and time where things
that was what the teacher manifested, and I was there and experienced it. Yep. I know when I got to when I lived in Sebastopol for a number of years, there's a Tibetan Buddhist, a straight up Tibetan Buddhist monastery in town there. At least it used to be. And I used to go meditate with those guys and hang out.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
cool.
And they totally liked me. It was like I could hang out with them. It was so weird. I'd go meditate and stuff. Yeah,
I think it shows you follow, you know, what speaks to you, man, what you're drawn to. It's you don't deny your attraction, I guess, to things. You just kind of.
No, I follow my instincts and my intuition a lot.
Yeah, your gut feeling.
I really do.
It's all about the gut too, in so many ways. You know, your breath and
the health of the gut, the biome. We've found out
microbiota.
Yeah, microbiome and happiness. But yeah.
Right on.
Speaking of kombucha,
yeah, you big booch fan.
Fermentation festival. Oh, we got to talk about the fermentation festival. That was much fun.
So
dude, that was one of the best.
I remember you drank a lot of whiskey.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So I It's called Farm to Fermentation Festival. I actually did that 3 years in a row. I did it for 2014, 15, and then I came back when we were both homeless 2016. And,
I did it twice with you.
Oh, so you did it 2015 too. That's right. Yep. And so the last time we did it with both Briar and Terry in, right?
That's right.
What did we do the first time? It was just... I think
it was you and me and the bassist.
Nathan?
Friend that got burned or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And
right? I probably did like one set by myself. Yeah, that's right. But so the third time, the fun time, yeah, so this is like, fermentation fest. They can have kombucha, they can have cider, hard cider, beer, wine. They had whiskey that was like fermented. And then you could go into this like a food room where they had cheeses and sauerkraut and kimchi,
pickles,
and
hot sauces,
anything that you can ferment.
You name it, man. Anything and everything fermented. Kimchi, cheeses,
and you get samples of everything.
Everything.
We didn't pay for anything of the tickets because obviously we're the band and we're getting paid, and get the free VIP. And it's just a ton of fun, man. It's hard to, you had to limit yourself on your drinking, but then you get these small, like 4-ounce sample cups. So you don't know how much you're drinking. I drank I drank a 40 ounce. I drank 10 of these now.
Right? You're just like, and it's so easy to do because it was flowing around.
It's always the day drinking can always be interesting. You kind of trick yourself, but we had fun.
It's fun, but now that I no longer drink at all, day drinking's definitely the least healthy option.
I honestly just I never get drunk when I drink. Like I just cut myself off, and I think I smoke enough cannabis so I don't really want more than 3 beers because if I get too much of that buzz, I'm like, I don't want that.
Yep, that's a good thing. Yeah,
and even then, like especially performing, I can never get too drunk. But
it's hard to imagine with all the stuff you got going on.
Yes,
going.
I get sloppy.
All 4 people nearly. So.
Yeah, and that would have happened occasionally, like at Jasper's when they want you to take the fucking Jameson shot, and you're like, oh god damn it!
It's like that's the 5th one in the last hour, bruh.
No, but me, I'm such a lightweight. I'm drinking like 3-4 beers and just that, and then we're spliffing every hour. It's just like, oh shit. But,
ooh, it was the best of times though.
I think it really was. I think the first time I played there was on St. Patrick's Day, and it was fucking nuts. It was so crazy. I made I think it was the most money I ever made, and it was just it was like this great introduction. Just like and then I kept playing there more often. But oh man,
I remember that very day.
It's hard to remember. I just remember I played like 4 sets. Each one just got sloppier, but everyone else just got drunker, so it didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. But
good times. Oh, wow.
Good time, man. Jasper O'Farrell's crazy place. Now it's just Jasper's, huh?
Just Jasper's.
Coincidentally enough,
that part. It was called the Star.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that briefly. Coincidentally enough, like the closest, like whatever you want to call town here, Newport, they have Jasper's Tavern, and it's like, and guess what? It's a fucking one of the rowdier places. They have an alley. It's weird fucking
perfect.
I actually don't hang out there, but
it's Jasper's East.
They just do DJs. They don't do actual live music. So Jasper's East.
It's Jasper's East.
They're carrying the tradition.
Yep, Jasper's East.
So any crazy Jasper stories that are worth telling?
Oh, golly. Man, that one would require a lot of like. So many of them. I mean, golly, one of the. Let's see. Remember Apple Blossom Festival?
Yep.
Okay, so there were some Apple Blossom. We did Apple Blossom Festival where I was next door over at Cornerstone with Christian. You remember Christian, right?
Yep.
And we had like a live reggae band outside, and in next door at Jasper's, they had like from 10 in the morning, they had like this like techno house party dance rave thing going on like all day, all night. And I mean, that place used to just, for this little town of like 8,000 people, would just completely ape shit, for lack of a better word.
I'd be like 12,000 on the weekend, it seemed like.
Oh yeah.
Or something, you know what I mean?
Like it just packed people, not from there.
Yeah. I just remember bouncing back and forth between like Hot Monk and
Hot Monks, and I played the biggest show that they had ever like had there. It was a Halloween show. I was with Ancient Mystic, and it was the year after we did those 2 shows I told you about. Mm-hmm. We played a Halloween show there, and like over 800 people came to that show. It was packed.
Holy shit. Wow. That's for that place. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Back the beer garden and everything.
Back the beer garden. People were waiting to get in to like, and it was before they had, now they have all these like, these fancy schmancy, like, like people doing like expensive DJs and fire dancers and whatnot, kind of,
yeah,
Halloween shows. But this was a local band bringing in like literally everybody.
That's fucking cool, man. So is there any Ancient Mystic stuff online, or
you might be able to find some of his tunes? It was at the point in time where we didn't get a good like studio recording of him. There's some live takes. I don't know, probably on YouTube there may be some video, but
that's where you can find most things if you can't find them.
Yeah, I believe there is some. You should be able to find some video of Ancient Mystic and the Real Far Band on YouTube. You can also find Inner Rhythm. That's RIDDIM. I'm on YouTube also. There's videos of us if you want to catch some of my reggae.
Nice.
It's there.
What was one of the? Didn't you play consistently with another big local band?
I played. I sat in with Soul Horizon as a flute player.
Oh right, but I thought there was another one that you did bass like consistently with, or I
had a band called I had another band called the Visionaries. The Visionaries was another reggae band, and I played bass with them as well. That was a really good band. We had female backup singers a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Reggae.
Yeah, a lot of reggae music, man. I played a lot. It was the kind of the equivalent of being a blues artist in Memphis or something, jazz artist in New Orleans.
It's definitely popular there in that, because you got the beach vibe and it's nice, and the whole thing.
Beach and ganja. It's just
brings the reggae. But now I guess, like you said, it's kind of changing a little bit. But
it has changed. Yeah, it's a little different now.
I guess there's not as much. It comes and goes.
Yeah, it's cycles like anything.
I'm sure there's like old timers who were like, when the reggae came, they're like, I remember when it was hippie shit.
Oh yeah, that exactly. I mean, we would run into those guys sometimes, especially at Jasper's.
They all moved up north and made Kate Wolf Fest. So.
That's right. Or they're remember the
I dig it all. Yeah.
The hog farm.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a whole nother. For sure.
That was a big party. One of the last shows I did, big shows I did in Sonoma County before I left was I believe it was in 2016. I had this opportunity. I got to go play at Jerry Garcia's daughter's house, at Trixie Garcia's house. And I got to go up there. Ancient Mystic played. Came back. It was a reunion. We hadn't played in a few years. We got together and played.
That's cool.
My guys from Sessions, some of them came and we did that. And then it was a big open jam session, free for all. And there were a whole bunch of people, a lot of awesome musicians. Some of these guys were like in other bands, famous bands, but I didn't know who they were. and so we let them play, and and use our equipment and stuff. It was a big old party. It was so much fun. I had the best time. It was a psychedelic safari.
Where was this
in Sebastopol?
In Sebastopol.
And that's where Jerry's daughter lives.
Cool. He has more than
several,
one,
but Trixie.
Yeah, Trixie. Yeah, okay.
That's who.
Cool. Yeah.
Actually, also her sister.
Who's
both were there? I forget the other one's name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. But I know I met Trixie because it's easier name to remember. The other girl's name is I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, no worries.
But they were both real nice. I met them. They thanked me because I brought a lot of the sound gear that people played on,
Sweet.
Help back up the sound. It was really steep, like way out in the boondocks. Like cart the equipment like up a dirt path, a quarter mile from where the cars parked. It was wild.
Yeah. There's definitely some like backwoods off-grid shit. I mean, just outside of Sebastopol, I suppose. But
Barnett Valley Road, Bennett, somewhere way out there. Yeah. It's nice, beautiful. It's nice.
Cool.
Nice part of Sonoma County, to be sure.
I love that area. I mean, I do miss it at times, but I don't miss the rent prices. You know what I'm saying?
No. Man, I mean, it's
kind of like stuck it out. You're like, it's worth it. I love it, but you're like, it's killing me.
It's just tough, and I gotta say, I'm really happy here. It's I live in a beautiful place, and it's affordable, and I'm not on a major fault.
Yeah, well, and I think, like you said, just a nice thing, if and when you do go back to visit, you just like already have connections. It's already
yes.
Just it's not like you have to just leave it permanently or whatever.
Exactly. I've got a lot of friends there, and we'll stay in touch with as many of them as I can. And when I go, I always make a point to try to see some, go to places where I think people I know might be. Say hi.
Yeah, totally.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's the last time I was back there was 2017, and I was there like very briefly, but like. It was like nobody was there. It was like a bummer. Like I didn't find anyone I could connect with. I was like, oh shit, man. Like, you were gone, and like Briar was gone.
It changed.
Moses was gone. Yeah, it was crazy. And like I did a show at somewhere in Santa Rosa.
You heard what happened to you? Remember Tong, right?
Tong,
the Asian guy, hang out all the time.
Shit. I'd probably recognize
Big Potty. Big Potty.
Dude? The big guy?
No, little bitty guy.
Oh. No, I don't.
Oh,
what happened though?
I thought you knew him.
I probably would. God, it's hard. I remember who was the big guy.
Josh.
Yeah, probably Josh.
It's a big guy, curly hair.
Yeah, cool shit.
Yeah,
skin dude.
Josh.
And
he's still there.
I remember Justin, obviously, and Moses. You. I'm still friends with if you know Elizabeth. She's from the South too. She's from Georgia.
I'm not sure which one who's that.
She used to I don't know. She's just like come and dance. She's actually right around your age, and Elizabeth Wade, friends there on Facebook.
Oh,
she lives in Green Bay now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Isn't she her partner's name's Star or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know that. I know her. Yeah, she's cool. She's super cool. Yeah. Yeah,
there's so many just faces from what about I still keep in touch with what's his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name at the moment. He's one of the many veterans. Ah shit, I don't know. I fucked up. Oh well.
What are you gonna do?
The good old Jaspers.
That's right.
Like I was saying earlier, like
it's easy to forget. You remember it fondly, but it's easy to forget details because getting sloshy was a.
Well, and there was always Gina. She was cool. Oh, Gina.
Yeah. Oh, the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of cool bartenders, and
there was a lot of cool people. You know, it was a cool spot for the community for the most part. You know.
Oh, you remember what's his name? Bill Alberti. He played the
Bill,
mandolin. He'd come up and jam.
I played with him. He is an amazing guitarist and mandolin player, and he's a luthier too. You know, I think he might. He was ill. You know, he might have passed. I haven't heard.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
he jammed me a couple times, man.
Yes,
incredible.
He's amazing. He's a really good player.
His buddy, Lowell. You know, he's had his son there.
Oh yeah,
remember Lowell with the glasses. He played.
There was Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Sometimes you connect with.
I probably see his face. Oh yeah.
Folks. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's like everyone at Jasper there.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all we got.
I'm just curious. I just wonder if it's really different, or if it's the same people going to that same spot because that's just their old spot.
It's probably like whoever's left. You know.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know about Moses, but if Moses is back at Sebastopol, who knows?
He was living in Nevada City, and he's just now moving. Sounds like he hasn't moved all the way back yet, but he's
because like when we last hung out and you just moved to Santa Rosa, he was like living somewhere in Santa Rosa too or something.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, even then, like everything had changed. It wasn't like we were hanging out in the alley or whatever. And
yeah, things had changed a lot because
ownership and shit happens, and
shit happens.
It only lasts so long, and that's life. So what are you gonna do? But shit, man, I just realized I'm fucking starving. But
I am too now that you mention it.
I just haven't eaten in a while, but I did a podcast earlier before this one, so
yeah, you're on your second. Well,
the other guy was like, "I can only do an hour. We gotta time this." This has been good, you guys. I like all that shit. You got some good stories, man. You're enlightening.
Well, I enjoyed it for sure, and like I said, I'll try to figure out how to record myself playing with the tune, and so we may have to call back again, and I'll try it out or something.
I can either just record myself playing it by myself, and then you. Well, I got the
recording right that you gave me. I wish
but you want to do one that's like a video from recent. So like I could just film myself here in this space,
right?
Send you that, and then you could do like multiple takes if you want. You know, you could just
and you can
push just record on the. Yeah, I could even like, edit your audio a little, make it sound a little better, and all that shit.
Okay, well we'll look at that. Maybe we'll see what you're doing tomorrow. We'll give it a look.
Well, we'll get mess around with it. It's no rush. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, no rush.
I'm gonna stock up on these episodes. It takes a while to edit them, and it's probably released in a couple months. You know what I mean?
That's okay.
So this will be the fourth one, so it's cool that I'm kind of getting a couple of, and it's fucking cool that they're all just so different, man. Because like everyone's got a different story.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you're doing it. It's I see people do them, and I'm enjoying it. So hey.
Well, the thing is, like, I already have a home studio. I already filmed myself doing all this music shit. So I watch all these podcasts, and I'm like, I already have all the shit to do this. And I want to talk to my friends. I don't want to send them a messenger message. I want to so why not?
Right? Why not?
And people like to tell their story. I mean, why not?
People like to hear it. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly. It could be inspirational, and who knows what'll happen with it, but we'll do some cool shit with it. Like I said, I can add in clips of the music video and playing live. Yeah. I got a couple clips of you at Jasper's or we played that like weird place in
Barley and Hops.
No, it was we only did it once, and the piano guy didn't show up. Remember, he was like the one time. It was down in it was like Petaluma. It was like Republic One or
wow!
First,
wow, I almost forgot. I had almost edited that memory, bro.
And it was just me and you, and like we were both like struggling because it was supposed to be a trio show, so the bar was like upset with us.
Oh yeah,
and it would just made just another player just makes it easier anyways. So it's just kind of like,
oh yeah, I remember.
I have video of that though,
his
just me and you,
girlfriend or something.
Yeah, some bullshit.
What kind of crap? Oh man, that was.
Because you remember him coming to Jasper's every now and then. That dude. He's pretty good at keys.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't the complaint.
Yeah, exactly. And we're like out of our element. Like Petaluma's nothing like Sevastopol or wherever. So we're like, okay, first time bar. We're making a horrible impression. We're playing a bunch
this is not gonna work.
I mean, we made it through the night, but it was one of those gigs. You're like, we're never playing your gig again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask. Yeah,
exactly.
That was too bad. But hey, again, I chalk it all up to, fun learning experiences. They don't kill you. They taught you something.
Make you stronger, man.
That's right, buddy.
From Maynardville? No.
Maynardville. It's like, the guy from Tool, Maynard.
Maynard.
That's about as country name as you can possibly imagine. Maynard.
Oh, right on, man. It's good talking to you.
You too.
Yeah, we could always do this again.
Yeah, this is fun.
Let's figure out the jam thing.
My folks would do this because I never see them. Talk to them on the phone occasionally.
See, I do this on Messenger with my parents. They like to see my kid a lot. I told Allegra to bring the kid in and say hi, but she might have fell asleep.
Oh, another time. That's for sure.
Yeah. I remember we did a couple of those cool shows at that Occidental Center for the Arts.
Those were great shows too.
Man.
What a beautiful place to play, though, right? I mean,
I think the fact that we were acoustic, we had like no amps or I felt like that was a great place. We just like resonated and reverberated off of everything. So I don't know. Those good memories. Those places.
Definitely good memories.
All right, brother.
All right,
talking to you. I'll see you next time.
Blessings. Take care.
Peace.
Till next time.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.